Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Set Your Wire, a.k.a. Coach Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE show. Cousin Tracy.
What's up?
We are back at it, episode 122, you know what I'm saying? How was your week, man?
Week was great. We've been off the radar for a minute, right?
Yeah. Couple weeks, little hiatus, you know what I'm saying? Had some things we had to take care of, but we're back.
We're back.
I know you missed us.
Yeah.
We are back at it. Today, in the cage on the couch, we have another very special guest, you know what I'm saying? You might not know her, you know what I'm saying? And you might know her, but even if you do know her, you're going to get to know a whole lot more about her, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff that she's doing in media and coaching and her playing career, very successful playing career, I might add. And she just walked in here after winning a game of softball. So today in the cage, we have Miss SABRA WRICE with us today. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. What position you play? Softball?
Softball?
Yeah.
They got me in right field.
Right field?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because Tracy was saying 9 o'clock is too early to be to be doing anything.
It's too early for me too.
Well, actually, when I was leaving the house, when I was leaving my house, the kids were already out. Well, the young people was already out at Woodman Park playing.
Oh, yeah.
So their game probably started at 9. Okay. But in this age that I am right now, which is on the other side of the half of your life.
No activities.
I got there right at 9 too.
Oh yeah.
So. Listen,
just rolled up and rolled out to right field.
Get as much sleep as I could.
I remember those days, but understand this. Like I said, at this age, we ain't doing that.
That's what's up.
Because you got to get out the bed. We got to warm up the joints.
Got to get ready. You know
we got to warm up the joints. You know what I mean? Got to deep breathe.
Right field kind of nice.
Okay.
Because everybody is a righty, so they hitting the left field. I'm out there.
So you're out there chilling.
Yeah. For the most part, every once in a while somebody try to hit a tee.
Right.
It was all good today.
That's what's up. So let's start from the beginning. Let's let the viewers know where you're from.
I'm from Riverside, New Jersey.
Okay. Riverside High School. 4-year starter, I believe.
3 years.
Three.
Yeah,
Okay. But those 3 years was over 2,000.
Yeah.
In high school. Cats, that's buckets. You know what I'm saying? We like people that get buckets. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a bucket getter. That's what's up. Now, coming out of Riverside, and you know what? I didn't even really know too much about Riverside until I started coaching at West Tech. Like, I didn't know a lot about a lot of them schools in Burlington Township until I started. And it's like right here though. That's the funny thing. Like
it's right next to you.
In the Minton, right?
Yeah. It's right next to y'all.
Yeah. How was Riverside when you was coming through?
The school itself?
The area, you know what I'm saying? Because like I don't know. I mean I've been in Riverside.
It's very
of course,
rare
but, yeah,
that you hear somebody say, "I'm from Riverside."
Right.
Yeah.
So just like a little bit about.
I mean, it's a small town. Like Riverside's 1 square mile.
Okay.
So you know everybody. Like the people I started school with, I basically graduated. Give or take a kid moving in or not. So everybody knows each other. My family isn't like my dad was from Philly.
Okay.
And my mom was from like 2 towns over, Beverly.
Okay.
But like, so they didn't grow up there.
Gotcha.
My great grandma lived in Riverside.
Okay.
So that's kind of how we got
there.
Yeah. Because
gotcha.
we was living in Delran when I was real little.
Okay.
And then we moved into my great grandma's house.
Got you.
But yeah, I mean, it's a small town. Right. There's a lot to kind of love about it because it's a lot more community based. But then at the same time, it's a small town, so it's like if you don't kind of figure out what you want to do early enough, you know, like it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain. I feel you. You end up like it's a nice little community culture. You don't really feel like you need to expand out of it all the time. Just because like you feel covered, like your family there, your friends are there, you grew up. Like I know
comfortable, that comfortability.
Like my sister best friend, they've been best friends since they was in kindergarten. You know what I mean? So like
got you.
So what year did you graduate from high school?
2004.
2004. Now, to get over 2 stacks, you know what I'm saying? When did you start playing basketball? Like, cause you just didn't go to high school.
Yeah, my dad played all the time, and I guess my mom's thing was like, go ahead play.
Right.
but you leaving your kids or whatever.
Right.
So he basically was like, I want my kids to be around me. So he started taking us.
Got you.
And then I was the reason he would have to sit on the sideline because I'm running out on the court. Every time I'm running out on the court. So he was coaching at what is now Doane Academy, but it used to be called St. Mary's.
Okay.
And I was just at one of his practice. I grabbed the ball at like 4, got to the foul line. I made a shot, and he was like, he's like, somebody else practice, get my team. And he was just shooting me, and then I just been hooping ever since.
That's what's up. Yeah, because you just don't walk on campus and score over 2 Gs without having an extensive background in the game. You know
I loved I played.
What?
I didn't start the 8th grade.
That's true. She started late.
Well, I mean, I started playing when I was young because we played like you was a kid back then. We just played like we was outside all the time playing sports.
True,
the first sport I ever played was soccer.
Okay.
And then I played softball, and then it wasn't until my dad got involved in like the rec in Riverside that I started actually playing like basketball.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what age that was.
We a baseball family.
Yeah, that's a great say because she started off baseball. She was playing baseball.
Yeah.
Our softball, she started off in baseball.
Yeah. They wouldn't let me.
But in the 70s, they didn't have girls
like
baseball,
around here.
Softball.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Well, I love softball. Like I thought I was gonna be on USA team and everything. Like I'm right-handed. I batted lefty.
Okay.
I was like bombing home runs when I was real little. My dad had to take me off of my age group, put me up with my sister because she's a year older than me.
Okay.
And then I had to learn how to bat righty because I was bombing it with the look. So they was like, all right, like, can you put it on the other side? And he would, and I'd bomb it with my right. I really thought that I was going to make it in softball. And then, basketball bug just hit me at some point.
And that bug will hit you.
Yeah.
You'll forget all about everything else.
Right. Well, I think it was just more the fast pace. Like, I wanted to be moving.
Wanted to go.
Yeah.
Got you.
I'm just standing in the outfield waiting for something to happen.
When it sometimes don't.
Right. So you just sit
out there like
playing with the flowers.
You need a good pitcher and then a good team to play against if you really want some action out there. So
facts.
I loved it. It was still a lot of fun, but once basketball kind of got me, that was it. Yeah, they put me in dance. They had me at everything, and I was just like, nah,
basketball. That's definitely what's up.
And like a leotard out there throwing around. I look crazy.
Nah, give me them sneaks in that basketball. Yeah. So after Riverside, we went to Fairfield.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? How was that transition, just going from playing high school basketball to now playing at a D1 basketball school?
Well, I gotta say, because I watched like Juju and Hannah play this year.
Okay.
And I'm like, geez, like they was ready made. You know what I mean? I feel like we didn't have as much access to the information. So you go play. The only time you really seen women's basketball is if you went to a game. So I used to watch like Temple play.
Okay.
And I used to just sit there with my dad. Like, there's no way you think I'm gonna get out on this floor and be able to keep up with these girls. Right. The transition was tough. I think more from a mental perspective than anything because I could play with them, but I mean the game was it was. Like Riverside is small, Group 1.
Right.
I played AAU, but that was in the summertime, so you had so much space in between, and there was no AAU season in between graduating high school and going to college.
Got you.
It was just fast. The girls were way bigger. Like I was one of the tallest on my high school team, so you already know. Like I got there and I'm like, oh, she's 6'4", she's 6'4", she's 6'2".
And then the question be, what was your parents feeding you?
Yeah.
I must have missed some meals.
Hold on, my dad was 6'5". I'm like, why am I so small? You know what I mean? So it was just very, it was tough. And then like, you're walking in as a freshman, and I was coming in and they kind of knew, like, the team knew I was good. Right. And I tell the kids now that I train, I'm like, yo, maybe like the first or second day we had summer school, one of my teammates came up to me. Mind you, I'm 17. I just graduated high school. I just left my parents' house for the first time. She said, I'm napping. She's like, yo, get up, come to the gym. So I'm like, okay, like, this is a senior. So I'm like, whatever, I get up. She's like, all right, we're going to play 1-on-1-on-1. It was me and another freshman. So I want to see how good you guys are. I was like, what? You know what I mean? And so she was just going at us. But then by the end, it's like, I gained her respect a little bit.
Got you.
But, that first game I was starting, and they had me at point guard, which isn't really my true position.
Okay.
Like to this day, there's still an image where I feel like I'm standing at half court and the game is just whizzing by me, and I just like I couldn't keep up.
Right.
It took like 1-2 games to get into it.
To get to that place.
Where's Fairfield actually at?
It's in Connecticut. Like it's in Fairfield, Connecticut, but kind of right outside of New York. It's probably like an hour, 50 minutes from New York by train. So not too bad.
And I believe, what's that, another 1,500 or so at
Yeah,
Fairfield?
yeah.
Buckets.
When trying to recap a career like the one SABRA Rice has had at Fairfield, it is easy to get caught up in her offensive numbers. Her name will be written often in the record books, as she is among the top 10 in all-time scoring with over 1,400 points, and among the top 5 in three-pointers made with over 120. Also stuck in the minds of the Fairfield faithful will be her school record 36 points at the arena at Harbor Yard in a win over Siena last year. And despite her offensive numbers, Rice would prefer to be remembered for her defensive effort. And that will most likely happen as she will graduate among the program leaders in career steals, helped in part by a 7-steal effort versus Iona a few weeks ago. Her durability, especially in the face of numerous injuries over the years, is another Rice trademark. She plays out the final games of her career already among the team leaders in games started, and soon to be among the leaders in games played. All in all, Rice has left many a smile on the faces of Stag fans over the last 4 years, smiles that will last a long time.
Do what you can. Trying to win. You know?
Buckets. Now, how was the education part of that? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of kids that I talk to, you know, they just think it's from I'm going to school to play ball or whatever sport it might be. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They forget about the education part
academic
of it.
side.
You gotta stay eligible to continue to
Even
play.
in college.
Listen, I'll argue this with a lot of people because they always look, oh, you played Division I sports, so you didn't have to do nothing.
Right.
And I'm like, y'all are confusing all Division I athletes with like these, you know, like the blue bloods, you know what I mean? Like they're the one and dones. You're confusing a lot of people with these superstar NCAA athletes. There's so many at like Division I, Division II, Division III athletes. The academic side is huge because most schools like Fairfield, I think they're obviously, like, most of the schools are academic schools. There's only a few schools where the athletics drives the academics, and they're going to make some like leeway for oh, you know, you have basketball players that want to take this class, like we have like priority for getting our classes, but that was it.
Okay, got you.
Like the speeches we heard when we first got in, y'all think y'all are athletes, you're gonna come here do what you want. No. And I got in a lot of trouble academically because I was very like I very much was an athlete. I did my work, but in high school, you know, I did what I needed to do.
Got you.
I was never failing no classes. I didn't really have anything lower than a C, but you know, a lot of that was like show up to class, do your work, listen to your teacher, and I could do all those things.
Right. It wasn't going above and beyond.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but then you get to college and you're like, they don't care about you. Like, they don't care that you're an athlete. They don't care that you have a game tomorrow or practice.
I think because collegiately, a lot of the academic students get overlooked for athletics in a lot of the big D1 schools. So a lot of professors are really like, yeah, I don't care. Like, you gotta produce in my class, and guess what? If you don't, I'm calling coach. That's it. That's all.
That happened to me.
I'm calling you coach because, you know, I think professors who pride themselves in academics, although some of them like sports, but they pride themselves in academics, when they see some athletes come through and do get special treatment, and then their kids who are getting good grades can barely get funding to pay for their education, they're feeling some kind of way. So it's like, I'm gonna show you.
Like a point to prove.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I definitely think too, like being an athlete and kind of like I love to learn, but like I had so much trouble sitting still. That like I know in college sometimes if I had to sit still long enough I'd be asleep. So like but I was good at sports, so and I did enough to get by, so I had good grades. No one's really checking like, are you understanding this stuff or what? So when I got to school, I was like, I had no study skills. Like I had no, I didn't proofread very well. Got you. And so, and then I didn't take it upon myself to like figure that stuff out either. Because as far as I knew, I was doing all right.
Right. I'm good.
So it was a challenge academically at first. I went into film and media, so my classes were a little bit different. Like as soon as I didn't have to take math anymore, I was like, I'm good. Like I don't want to take this class anymore. I loved English, so I didn't really struggle too much in that. And then obviously with film, being a writer, being an artist, it wasn't too bad. But by my senior year, yeah, I was like locked in my room. I was doing my work.
Got you.
So my question for you is this: now, fast forward, you're training and coaching and dealing with young people. Do you harp on the fact that they need study habits and skills?
Oh yeah, for sure. Discipline. I mean, they gotta, time management, discipline, like they gotta learn that stuff. And like I always tell them, like even though I wasn't probably the best student, like the model student, my work was done.
Got you.
Like I wasn't coming home, like waking up the next day being like, I didn't do my project and it was due today. Like my stuff was getting turned in, especially in high school. And then like even in college, if I was struggling to get it done, I would talk to my professor, get an extension, whatever.
Got you.
But I rarely needed that too. Like I'm still turning in my work.
Right, got you.
I just think for me, it wasn't to the best of my ability because back then I didn't like
Apply
I
yourself.
was pouring everything into basketball.
Right. So you
So I kind of like I chose. I did what I had to do, but I kind of chose to.
You wasn't like overly applying.
Yeah.
Got you.
Which you different now, right?
Yeah. I definitely could have split my time, and like time management was huge. Like I had to learn that, and that's still something I struggle with.
Right. All of us.
Yeah.
But nope.
No, she said not her.
You good?
You know I'm.
Yeah, you pretty good.
You know, organization and time management.
That's true.
is
Nah, yeah,
like-
especially for this one over here.
Yeah.
She got.
I wake up with a
She need like
list,
four or
and I
five
gotta
of
check
herself.
off the list.
Yeah, facts. That's true.
That's how I live my
That's
day.
true.
I
Yeah.
start my Sunday.
I'm just bad with it. I'll just be like, all right, I gotta be where I gotta be in like
Right.
an hour, so I can do this.
Right.
10 minutes in, I'm like, oh, I'm not
How you
Gonna
gonna
make
make it?
late. Yeah, so
So
I
teach-
always gotta remind myself.
I teach
Got
young
you.
people, like when I do workshops, I teach young
what's
people
up.
to try to start small. But on Sundays, when you wake up, because this is like really supposed to be a day of rest, right?
Right.
When you wake up, do your week.
Yeah.
Schedule out your week.
I struggle with that too.
Makes sense.
I usually do mine on Monday though. Like I get to work, I have a whole routine. I check my my calendar when I get into work on Monday.
Right.
Like Saturday and Sunday, I've learned to give myself off.
Okay.
Of like trying to be super organized.
Right.
But then when I come into work, I've been organizing myself and making sure, all right, I know I got this on Thursday,
Got you.
because I used to be really bad with it and be like, someone would be calling me like, where are you at? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, you're supposed to be here 10 minutes ago.
Like,
I'm like,
my bad.
Yeah,
On
so
my
I had to
way.
learn, like, obviously when
Right.
you're young, not that people give you a pass for that, but
Right.
but then you start hitting a certain age, they're like,
it's
come
now
on, you gotta be more
gotta
responsible.
be better, right?
And now I'm responsible for other
For other
people,
people, right.
other kids are coming,
Got you.
so I can't be.
Got you.
But yeah, I still struggle.
That's what's up.
But
Now,
baby steps. Learn
Yeah.
behavior. Baby
Yeah,
steps.
by
true. After college, we went overseas, correct?
Yeah.
How was that? Because a lot of people, not to cut you off, but a lot of people think like, all right, if I don't go to the league, I'm gonna go overseas, and they just think it's just like easy over there. But I'm gonna let you tell your story about the overseas.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
I played in England for 4 years. So 3 of those years I played. 1 year I tore my Achilles tendon. I loved it. I won't lie. Like I felt like I loved playing college ball because of the competitiveness. But it, like back then, like now you watch women's, they are very much like, unapologetically themselves, and they getting off the bus or whatever, they got the fits on, they taking pictures.
True.
Yo, back then it was like shirt tucked in, everybody had the same outfit on, same shoes, like no earrings, no hats. Like you had to really look the part. Some teams probably still operate like that, but and then it was just like it was very rigid. Which is also hard for me as an artist.
Right.
On the inside, I'm like, I want to kind of just flow and do my thing, but it's like everything is like chop. We getting up. If you have a game on a college day, like say it's a Saturday, the game's at 2, you up at 6.
Right.
You got shoot around at 7. You got team meal.
Meals
Then
up.
you at the gym 2 hours early.
Right.
You're warming up. Then you got that game, which is like a 2-hour game, and so it was like. It was very rigid.
Right.
The first time I went to practice when I was in England, I was playing for Team Northumbria. I got to practice 30 minutes early, which I'm thinking that's not,
Right, yeah.
30 minutes.
Right.
I mean, like, to me, I'm late.
Right,
And nobody's in the gym, so I'm sitting there.
Right.
So let's get closer to practice. I'm like, I'm texting. I don't know them very well.
Right.
I'm like, yo, do we have practice today? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm at the gym. No one's here. They're like, why are you there so early? I'm like, yo, practice in 10 minutes.
Right.
Like we don't, what I mean? So like,
Right,
it was an
right.
adjustment in that. And I'm not saying teams operate, or even those teams still operate that way. But back then, I was very shocked because I was like, I was bringing my like they gave us all a basketball and we all had to bring that. We were responsible to bring that to practice every day. And I'm used to getting shoes and T-shirts, and it was none of that stuff. So it was, and you're there by yourself, like no family, no friends. I didn't know anyone. The game is very different because it's more European style. I mean, not more, it is European style basketball. So it's moving very different. And I'm trying to, but the adjustment, I mean, at that point in time in history, and like still to this day, really, but women's basketball here is way more competitive as a whole. Okay. Like the leagues and everything that we have, like WNBA is the best women's league in the world. So at that point in time, coming from playing Division I basketball here to going over there and play, it was easy to transition as far as being able to do what I wanted to do on court. Gotcha. But it was all the other stuff that you're getting used to.
Right, gotcha.
It was good. I liked it. Okay. Being lonely, being away from home is just tough. Right. It's you got to be really strong. Right. Really, really strong. Right. And because the rigidity is not the same, whereas like we had set practice times, we had set one-on-ones, we had set weight times, you got to be a little bit more, I mean, I had to be at that time a little bit more serious about my own self, my own discipline. Because I need to be, by my second year, I figured it out, but because I had so much dead time, I was in the gym like 8 hours on a Monday, 6 hours on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? And I was just working out.
How tough was that to come back from the injury? Like, what's that recovery process?
So I tore my Achilles my third year. Okay. It really I took a step and it just popped. Wow. Yeah, it sucked. And then because I'm very stubborn, I waited 3 weeks and then I started playing again and I tore it again. So it was, I got one. So then I kind of spent a year down. Again, a lot of it is just mental. Okay. Like, people don't realize the mental struggle of the athlete is like, that is, especially past the level where everybody could shoot, everybody can dribble. So mentally it was very tough because like I had never not been able to play. Even on my worst injuries in high school and college, I don't think I missed a college game. They made me sit in high school because I wasn't trying to, but they made me sit for like 3 games. So to not be able to play, not even be able to really shoot around, not to be able to jog, not even be able to like just take off running when I felt like it. It was tough. Wow. So the recovery was all right though. Like, I just took my time with it because at that point I was 27. Okay. So I was like,
you're getting up in age.
Yeah, if I'm gonna play again, I'm gonna play again. But if this is it for me, it's it for me. Right. So I wasn't really. So I just kind of took my time. It was a partial tear, so I got very lucky with that too.
Okay. Now, when you came back and played, like, how did you know, like, all right, this is enough, enough of this professional basketball career? Was it like something happened, a decision you made, something you just had?
So I went back to England. So my career is kind of crazy, and I don't know a lot of people who do this, but I played 2 years in a row. Came back, I coached at Fisher College in Boston for 2 years. And then I was like, college coach isn't for me. So I left. I went back to England, tore my Achilles tendon, came back. I coached at Fairfield U. Then I was like, college coaching really isn't for me. So I went back and played. And I was playing, and it was like the first time politics, like basketball politics, really hit me. Because I obviously before then, like I was good. So like, and I was still good at that point in time, but I was like, I never had to argue whether I should be on the court or not.
Gotcha.
And I found myself arguing, like, not that I wanted to play, but like the reason why I wasn't playing.
Gotcha.
It didn't make any sense to me. Gotcha. Which is like, whatever. Right. And then at that point, I was just like, I'm 30. Right. Like, I really don't need to do this anymore. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I had just been inducted into my high school Hall of Fame and then my college Hall of Fame that's like the following year.
Got you.
And I was like I've done it. I've done it all at this point. Like, I don't really need to continue chasing. I'm not chasing anything.
Right. Gotcha. So, how was now you said you came home, your coach was like, nah, this ain't for me. Went back and played, came home, coach, nah, this ain't for me. Like, what was it about coaching in college?
So the first time I was in Fisher College, and like they were kind of like building up. They had a very good baseball program. Okay. and they were building up the rest of their athletics. And I never coached really. Like I coached in England a little bit, but I would go into schools and stuff and like teach basics of basketball to like kids who never even touched a basketball before. So I'm like coaching, and like the level I'm used to at this point in my life was like, I'm like thinking you guys know this stuff. And so I ended up being in a position where I needed to recruit kids, but like you're coaching, it was NAI Division II at that time. So like I came in and we didn't have enough players. I'm in the cafeteria before games like, yo, you want to play basketball today? Like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of tough because my mind is like, I want y'all to run a 2-3 and they on the court like
what's that?
Yeah, you know. And we had like a couple kids that were good.
Okay.
But as a whole, we couldn't compete.
Gotcha.
And then it just got to the point, and I remember, I'll never forget, one of the players came in, we had lost a game, and one of the kids was just like, yo, you don't really care. And I kind of just went off.
Right.
I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is, I give my life to this game.
Right.
I'm at practice, and y'all talking about you have, you know, a report due, and you can't come. So I was like, this isn't really for me, because I don't want to be one, like, yelling and going back and forth with nobody. And then two, like, I don't think I was at the right level. So I was like, maybe coaching not for me.
Gotcha.
I came back and I was coaching Division I, and then that became more of a, I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Gotcha.
And you can't, like, not to be, I have a lot of friends that coach and they love it. They stay at that level. It just, I made a film going into my second year of coaching.
Okay.
And like, we took 3 days. I took 1 day off of work. I think it was like my birthday that week.
Okay.
And it was like, I caught flack for it. Like, I'm trying to edit it on my free time, but it's like, you know, so I don't want to fight, and I want to do what I'm supposed to do for work.
Gotcha.
I don't want to argue with anybody. Like, if you're telling me this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do.
Gotcha.
But, you know, like, you don't, the summer, you out recruiting, you're here, you're there.
Right.
The winter time, y'all won't see me.
Right.
Well, not even, right? October, we start practice all the way to March, April-ish.
Yeah, that's true.
And then postseason, you out on the road.
Right.
So, you know, I'm from Jersey. I was coaching in Connecticut.
Right.
You get 3 days for, you know, Christmas.
Right.
I did it already.
Right.
I was a player, so I was getting the 3 days.
Right.
My nephew was born, I think, going into my second year.
Okay.
2014. And so, you know, I'm trying to rush home because I want to see him.
Right.
And then I ended up going overseas, and, you know, I was gone for a year, and I was just like, I want to be home.
Gotcha.
I don't want to be flying everywhere. Like, I want my nephew and my nieces to know me. It was more, it wasn't a decision because of the basketball or the people, or it was more like the time constraints.
Gotcha.
I couldn't really.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't really want to.
Gotcha. That's what's up. Now, heavily involved with youth sports organization. What's that? The Del Riv Youth Sports.
Del Riv Youth Sports.
Yeah. When did you get into that?
Right after COVID. Okay. So COVID was like a very weird time for me because I'd never not done anything.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And like now I'm like, I worked in I worked in the engineering plant at the time with my dad, and it was like I was going to work. I was doing, you know, I was a production coordinator, so I'm making sure machines are getting built and whatnot. And then I was coming home and I was like playing Minecraft. Right. And like my body had never felt better because I just didn't move. I was just, I mean, I was moving, we was playing, trying to get a little exercise in where we could. But for the first time, my body got a rest. I was like feeling good. And I was like on the fence, like, man, do I like, I had started really painting and getting into my art a little bit more. So I was like, dude, do I want to, like, I completely shift and go into a completely different space. And then one day I was just on Facebook and I didn't know the person at the time, but I saw that they had posted, they were looking for a sports director for the youth organization. So just being me, I was like, no, that looks like something I could try. Right. So I was like, all right, let me reach out. I had a conversation with the president at the time, and he was just like, oh, this is what it entails.
So exactly, before you go into exactly what is Del Val Youth Sports?
Del Riv.
Del Riv, for the people that don't know.
Yeah. So Delanco Township and Riverside Township, they kind of merged their like youth sports programs. So it's just rec sports. We have basketball, soccer, softball, baseball, and t-ball. And yeah, it's just your regular recreational sport but it's just 2 townships merged together.
Gotcha. And your job consists of just running the whole.
Yeah, well, I'm the president now.
Okay.
So just charged with making sure the organization runs and
Gotcha.
is doing what it's supposed to do in the community for the kids and for the families.
That's what's up.
But yeah, so when I came in, I came in thinking I'll do the sports director job, and they was like, "Oh, we don't have a basketball commissioner," and I'm like, what does that entail? So now I gotta run a whole league. But I like to tell everybody I'm like a little bit of a psychopath. So once they told me, all right, you're gonna run the basketball league, I'm researching other leagues and I'm reading all about it and what do I want? I came up with like a theme and we went with that and it ended up being pretty successful the first year. Obviously, a lot of people came back because COVID had shut sports down, or especially indoor sports.
Right.
Next year was decent, and then this past year we had another good season.
What's the ages?
We do as young as 3, and as old as 14 for basketball.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, pre-K to 8th grade.
No, that's definitely what's up. Hoops for the Soul.
Yeah.
What's that about? You got your hands in a lot of stuff.
I do way too much. It's
You
crazy.
got your hands in a lot of stuff.
So that is just like a basketball program that we're trying to build in like that Burlington County area along this river. I came home in 2016 and I volunteered at my high school. And like I just kind of watched high school sports and I was like, like what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like the basketball in particular in that area. And I was like, man, when I left and graduated, it was like Willenboro was like killing people. There was up battling against Shabazz every season. Crystal Langhorne and like a lot of Division I players came out of there. Even though we were a small town, we was competing with the RVs, Camden Catholics and bigger schools and stuff like that. Holy Cross used to be, they were funneling talent through there. Palmyra had players, like everywhere just kind of was very competitive. And I came home and I'm like, these kids are struggling with dribbling at the high school varsity level.
Crazy, right?
So I said, all right, like what can I do?
Right.
You know what I mean? If I could do anything, I got all this. I played, I got all this basketball knowledge. The coach that I coached under at Fairfield U, I mean, just a basketball genius. Like he just knew so much. We'd get into our meetings and he'd be like, yeah, we're going to work on the triangle offense. I called the coach who like kind of created it. I had conversation with him. I read this book. I watched this tape. Here's this information for y'all. So I got this like in-depth knowledge.
Right.
And like I didn't get, I was only there for 2 years, but like still learned so much. Plus playing for him for 1 year, I learned so much just about the college basketball, the actual X's and O's and stuff like that. The why behind decisions coaches made that I really didn't understand before, but I was just doing it. So I was like, yeah, I got to give this to someone because if not, I'm just going to keep it to myself. It felt really selfish. So we started, I started Hoops for the Soul just traveling around training kids best I could. And then it just kind of started growing. More and more people started coming, oh, you play basketball. Can you train my kids? Then one year we tried the AAU team and it was good. We had the kids right before COVID that played at Palmyra and they went on like a crazy run. And then COVID shut us down. And then when we came back, we just started with like put an AAU team out there. And now we got a boys team, we got girls teams, we got a team down in Gloucester. And it's doing well.
That's what's up. She how many kids you got of mine?
What, of yours?
Yeah, she got like what, 4 or 5.
Yeah,
6,
like 4 or 5. Yeah.
That she trains because they do. Y'all were doing 5 a.m. workout.
Yeah, that's my favorite. 5 a.m.s. I get them kids up.
You get up at 5 a.m. to work out?
Absolutely.
Why not?
We do it too.
Here's the thing. I don't have to.
Yeah, she don't. Yeah.
I'm over the 50 hump, right? I done did all of that.
Right.
We was doing 2 days in high school, which was never in Camden High history.
Yeah, that's true.
English had us coming in at 7 in the morning. Like, I don't got to do that. I did it in college.
She did it. Yeah, I did
it when I was a high school coach. Picking them up. I don't got to do it now.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. We get them up, like during the summer, we do 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then we have another session, 2:30 to 4:30. We call it Breakfast Club and Homework Club.
That's what's up.
And we actually feed them. So,
Oh, yeah?
like, we got food there for them. Make sure that they eat. We keep water stocked in the fridge, and it's free for them to come.
Oh, okay.
So I tell the kids, if you can get yourself up at 5 a.m., that's all the payment that we need.
Right. True.
We've been very blessed that the gym I trained in as a kid, it's a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
They want to be in the community. So they allow us to come in there. Like, it's a membership place, so I'm a member there as well. It's Riverside Turners.
Okay.
And they have a very small, compact gym, so it's not like we having full runs or whatever.
Right.
But we've been very blessed to be able to utilize some of these spaces, and the kids love the gym.
Right.
I mean, we've had like 15 to 20 kids at 5 a.m. in the morning.
But that means the parents got to get up at 4.
I know.
That's the part.
They get on me about that. Yeah. But you gonna do it for your kid if that's what they want. You're gonna do it for your kid if that's what they want.
She would be right there dropping them off. You already know this.
Right? Because if my kid says 5 a.m. I want to go train basketball, I'm gonna be like, let's go. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna do it till now I don't gotta do it no more. You old enough. Like some of them are 17, 18. They drive now. Yeah, so they driving themselves.
True.
Listen, my parents couldn't wait till I got my license.
He was driving everything.
We lived in Williamstown, which is Franklin Township, but everything I did was in Camden. So that was like a 30-minute drive. Then my dad would sleep in the car to practice his own way. So when I got my L's, he went straight out and got me a vehicle. Like, hey.
To their delay. So Riverside is unique in that everywhere, like we're a walking district, so it's close.
Right.
Like, we do train a lot of kids from outside of the town. We definitely have. But I got kids that ride their bike 5 a.m.
Oh yeah,
they're on their bike drive.
Yeah,
I mean that shows a sign of dedication. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that means they want it.
Yeah.
So
And you see, like Jaden, like he would ride his bike from Delanco, which he lived deep. In Delanco, but you would see it. He'd just be with his music on. He'd get to the gym all cheery, but he already warmed up at this point. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Then you watched them play, and you're like, you can actually see the pieces starting to come together, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
And like without that time in the gym, how did they get to that point?
Right.
But then when you really look at the grand scheme of things, what gym can they go into for free at 5 a.m. 2:30
to get some work
get some work in with people who are trying to help guide them in that direction.
Right.
Yeah, they could go outside and hoop.
Yeah, but
absolutely, and they could still get a lot of good work in, but just having that the gym availability, the actual rims, and
that's a good point.
Did you
make it to his premiere?
I did.
How
it was
was
awesome.
Yeah.
We were very, very proud of him.
It's one of my kids. He'll be a junior next year, I think.
He'll be a junior next
year. And he was in a film. What was it about?
It's
bikes
called Swerve. Yeah. We didn't even know. His parents told us. The next time I know, I'm looking him up on Instagram. I said, Jaden, like, why did you ever tell us this? How cool is that? I mean, it's very well rounded.
Right. Yep.
And the film was awesome. He did a great job. Okay. It was really cool to just see. It's nice to be able to share in some of those things off the court with them as well.
Right, true.
And you're building these connections with these kids.
True.
Like
they drive
me,
last lifetime.
They drive me crazy, but it's awesome.
They're better for it.
Yeah.
What is that you do now professionally?
Over at Pennsauken.
One of my coworkers.
Yeah.
You at the high school?
Yeah. I work for the whole district doing media and technology. I work in the TV broadcasting suite, which is pretty awesome. And so like I do a lot of the social media posting, especially on Pennsauken Athletics, and like we're getting into like doing the videos and trying to get live broadcasts and stuff going on throughout the school, and just building up the TV studio. I also just have to maintain the equipment, which is a lot of fun for me.
Right.
So.
What made you want to get into media stuff? Because that's what you said you majored in, right?
Yeah, I majored in film.
Yeah, like where did that passion or drive come from? You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I'm like a very like unintentional person. Okay. So like I chill most of the time, and then this stuff kind of finds me. So when I was in high school. Again, I'm just this athlete who I do what I need to do. And I was in my 10th grade English class, and we had to write a paper or something. And my English teacher, her name is Barbara Milch, and I'm still really good friends with her to this day. She just walked by with one of my papers and was like, "Are you a writer?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "You should really consider writing." So I was like, whatever. Like, you know, I'm a basketball player, so like, all right, cool. So then I get into college, and one of my teammates I've always been very tech savvy. I really wanted to go to school for computer engineering. And my college coach was like, "You won't have time for that." Which at the time, like now looking back, I wish I would have kind of fought back a little bit. But then she wasn't wrong because I wasn't a very good student at that time. So I think, you know, God was kind of moving in that to help me make sure I got through what I needed to get through. So I was undecided for 2 years. And then one of my teammates, though, when I was a freshman, she had just asked me, like, I have a bunch of DVDs or VHS tapes or whatever. And she wanted to put them online because, like, YouTube was in its infancy.
Right.
So she was like, "Do you think you can help me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing." So I found the TV's like film studio or whatever for the school, and they had like a whole like room with computer, like a computer lab, whatever. So I'm real time figuring out how to use this equipment, and pull the stuff off the VHS and make a video for it online. So like maybe like an hour or two in, the dean of the film school came up to us and was like, "You're not really supposed to be in here, but since you figured out how to use the equipment on your own, I'm gonna let you guys stay." And then he was just like, "You should probably take a film class." And I was like, "All right, cool, like whatever." And I loved it. So then I declared my major as film. And then, as I'm graduating, he was just like, we had to write this paper. It was like, "This I believe," or something. You had to write stuff that you believe in. So we had to read them out loud, which I'm like horrible. I'm like shaking and stuff. So like maybe a couple of days later, he pulled me into his office. He's like, "You have no idea how many people came into my office after you read your paper and was like life-changing words." He was like, "I don't know what you plan on doing when you graduate, but you should go into writing." And I was like, "Yeah, nah, I play ball. Like I'm good. Like, yeah, I'm going overseas." So I go overseas. I played for 2 years. I come back. I coach for 2 years. And then the next time I went back, I had the opportunity to go to Sheffield Hallam University. So at that point, I'm like, all right, like I can feel myself starting to like basketball is coming to an end. What am I gonna do? And I have this film degree, but like I haven't really done any film stuff. So I was like, I'll just go get my master's. Like they paid for it. So I was like, let me just see if I'm any good at film. And so I tore my Achilles tendon. So now I'm like, I can't even play basketball. So I've got to like do this film thing. And then I ended up leaving halfway through my master's because I would have went back the second year to finish it, but I ended up going to Fairfield and coaching. So I was finishing my master's while I was there. But, even my teacher then, she was like, "Are you going to invite us to your Oscar like party?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "When you win an Oscar." I was like, "All right, like chill." So I ended up making a film and it went very well. And then I went back and played basketball. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I just kind of like been taking my time and like, I know what I know with basketball because I poured so much into it as a kid. But with film and with art, I'm still kind of like, when the parents come to you, like, they're just struggling with confidence. That's me with the art. So I'm still kind of like, am I good at this? But yeah, I mean, it is a passion. I've always written. I used to just write poems. And then it's like, well, I'm not gonna be a poet. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I could have been, but I wasn't really feeling that life. So I always just wrote and loved writing. And I guess now I'm able to kind of, and I love film and I love photography and stuff like that. So I was able to start putting it a little bit together. I'm still kind of figuring out what I'm doing with it.
Now, the film, The Day That She Died, where can people find it at?
It's actually on YouTube, which I found out. I'm like, I have this distribution company that I'm going through. Like they messaged me and we got back and forth, and they put it up somewhere. So it's on some YouTube page. Like if you type it in, it comes up, and it's like 20K or something views. I was like, I found it like maybe 6 or 7 months ago, and I was like, hold up, people's watching this.
People's watching it.
So it was really cool, but yeah, it's on YouTube, so they can watch it there.
Now, how much work was that? Like, putting the film together.
So I had wrote I'm very slow with this stuff, so it took me like 3 or 4 years to write this film. I remember like I was on the phone. supposed to be having a conversation with someone, and like the words the day that she died popped in my head. This is when I was a senior in college, and it wasn't until I was 27 that I actually made it. So I went from 21 to 27, just kind of like chipping away at it.
Gotcha.
So it took all that time just to get the writing down, and that went through like 10 to 12 rewrites.
Okay.
And then, but we filmed it in 3 days.
Okay.
And then it took me a year to edit it because I was coaching.
Right,
so,
yeah, well, right,
you know,
right,
I remember
right,
being
right.
at and I probably like, if, you know, my coach at that point in time hears this, but I remember being on a recruiting trip. I spent the whole day in the gym and I stayed up all night just making that first edit.
Wow.
Like, just because I couldn't get it out of my head.
Right.
And I was like, I got to get this done so I can move on and like do my actual job. And then like I kind of sat on it for a while and I would look at it every once in a while. But then finally when I kind of, you know, I stepped away from coaching and I was going back overseas, there was like a chunk of time that I was just like free. And then I really kind of dove into it and finished it. So yeah, it was like a 5-6 year process.
Okay.
It was really cool to see the end, but yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. You got any working on anything right now currently?
Yeah. So I've been working on this since 2017, and it's like a long like theater Broadway type play that incorporates. So I make music, and like we're not gonna, because I don't think it's any good, but like so it's like, which is crazy because it's like 82 songs long. So I'm at the point where I think I'm missing like 7 songs, and then it's finished.
Gotcha.
So I've made like 70 songs, and I don't think I could sing, but it's just this long project. It's basically about these 2 souls that have been fighting through lifetimes to find each other, merge back into their original self, and then ascend up into balance or heaven, however you want to say it. But yeah, so it's a very complex project. I was actually going to get my doctorate in film, or in film and media, in England. But I couldn't come to a agreement of what I really wanted to do.
Gotcha.
So my mentor really wanted me to do how Black people are perceived in film, which is obviously a very big niche topic. I really wanted to do how people perceive love in film, and how we've been taught to believe in like fairy tale type love, where we all know relationships and all that stuff is. Yeah. Like once I do, and then you are. Yeah. So, you know, I really wanted to combat that idea that love is very simple. Someone messes up, then when they apologize, they run up on a plane and they get you off the plane and they, and then it's all good. I really wanted to challenge that idea and make a bunch of short films that kind of like progress you into like the love of self, and then you know, that unconditional love for other humans. But it just ended up like my nephew had been born and I would have been in England like nonstop for like 3 or 4 years, and I was just like, yeah, nah. So I came home, and then I kind of just been working on it ever since. So I'm like working on learning animation a little bit, so I can animate it, turn it into like a graphic novel, because that's like the cool stuff.
How you do all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? I thought you was the most busiest woman I knew. I don't know.
She got me beat.
Jesus.
It's crazy because I would love to say like I'm bored a lot. I'm not really bored, but like once you make up your mind, like I really want to do this, my brain's gonna fight me until I do it.
Got you.
So in the past, I've lost a lot of sleep because I'm like, all right, I got to make this song. But like, again, I'm trying to sing it, not being a singer. And so it's like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Now it's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, I'm gonna sleep for 2 hours and go to work. I kind of like got myself out of doing that a little bit. I stay in bed now, but any free time I get, like I don't really watch a lot of TV. So any free time I get, I'm like, I'm creating something.
That's what's up. And that leads right into the art. How'd you get into, you know what I'm saying? We've had many conversations, and the artist, SABRA, never came up. I had to do some digging and some research, and I see you dabble with some art.
Yeah, again, COVID. I took my nephew and my friend's daughter, who I was really close with. She's a senior now, but she was in 8th grade, I think, at the time. And we went to Michael's It was 2019, so
Okay.
we were right. It's December
Right,
2019. They all are off school. I'm the only person who, like, my job, we were off at that
Okay.
time. So I'm just chilling with the kids. We go to Michael's. We grab a bunch of paint. We make some, we just playing around.
Right.
So then I was like, oh, I kind of like this. So then
Okay.
I got up at 5 a.m. one day and I was like, let me just see what I could do. So
Okay.
I started painting. I'm like, oh, I like this.
Okay.
So I'm showing my friends, like, oh, you should get into an art show. I'm like, guys, like, I started painting yesterday.
I started painting
Relax,
yesterday.
So they, they bug me. My friends bug me enough. And it's nice to have people that
Right.
see what you don't see in yourself.
Right.
Go to the art show. I sell like 2 or 3 paintings.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, like, cool. Then COVID hit.
Okay.
So the way my brain is set up, I'm like, I can't really play basketball. Like,
Right.
I don't know how it was out here, but Riverside, Delanco, they locked the
Yeah,
gates. They
all
put
that
the
stuff was
things on the
like that
rim
too,
or
right?
took the rims down.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
y'all said outside was safe. Like,
I thought we were in a weird time when the police was riding around at night with an intercom. You have to be in the house. But in Camden, I'm like, is it the apocalypse?
it was insane.
Is it the purge? Like, it was bad. Like, they had the lights and the...
Yeah.
So it was locked.
true.
We were all locked down.
I was living with my sister at the time, and we lived down the street from a basketball court.
And nothing.
It was they had the things on the hoops.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
geez.
They took ours down.
Yeah, we got one in our backyard for the time, but then
Right.
it was cold.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
couldn't win. So I was like, all right, like, I like painting.
Okay.
And previous in my life, I could write and I loved making film.
Okay.
But in my head, I'm like, yo, you can't draw.
Right.
This is, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
this is what I
right,
say.
right.
Like, the confidence
Right,
is just,
gotcha.
it was not there.
Got you.
So I'm like, I definitely was like, I can't paint. I don't know anything about shading and lighting and like all the things that these artists got to know. So then I said, well, I got nothing else to do. So let me just paint every single day. So I was like, I'm going to paint one painting a day or work on one painting a day until they lift whatever. You know what I mean? So, because that's the only way I knew how to get good at things.
Got you.
So I was like, I just started painting and painting and painting. And then I just started giving away art because I was like, I got nothing else to do.
Right.
So, I was sending, like, I sent art to, friend out in Tennessee, Panama, England. Like, I was sending art all over the place. And then, I started going to more shows, like, once COVID was lifted and I was doing really well. People would really like the art. And I'm like, all right. And I kind of like, I went through this real cathartic, like, process where because I've written my whole life. So I had journals from 16 up until, and I'm like 32, 33 at this point. And I've always had these journals. I had like 10 or 11 journals that just would, I'm screaming at myself. I'm crying. Like, so I'm going through them and I'm reading them and I'm like, oh, wow, like I was a mess. So I started ripping up the journals and putting them in the art. And I kind of like just focusing in on that.
Got you.
So I just had this like really cool experience with like kind of letting go of my old self and like that fear. And now it's just like, all right, like whether people like the art or not, I like it. So, I turned one of my paintings into a t-shirt and they sold out. Like I only sold a certain amount of them. And people just bought them and I'm like, wait, y'all really like this? So yeah, it was cool. Like, a lot of it is just, like I said, like I just poured into it. So now I'm like still trying to figure out that balance between I'm at basketball at the time and then like I got paint. So I'm trying to find that balance.
Yeah, because let's see here. Let's see if we can recap. Trainer.
Job.
Basketball, running the organization.
Job.
Too much.
Creator of art, creator of films, music. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's what's up, though.
Yeah.
We might have to get you to create us a little piece for the Birdcage. You know what I'm saying? Get a little piece of art.
I love graffiti art. So like I really be trying to.
Right.
I don't do it. Like do graffiti because I still feel like there's a lot I haven't learned about art itself.
Got you.
And like I did the same thing. Like I watched, YouTube videos. I read books. I study color, but I did all that for design anyway.
Got you.
So like I'm like I love graffiti, so I'm still like kind of learning about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, you might have to hook us up. You know what I'm saying? You have to hook us up. Get a little piece for the Birdcage. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you.
Yeah,
sliding on, telling your story. Before we wrap this up, what's your future plans? Just to continue to create, continue to train, create.
Everybody's trying to get me. This is happening a lot. I keep getting asked to be a teacher. So, I mean, I'm thinking that might be in my future at this point. Like, you know, you got to follow, like I said, everything is unintentional. I'm just trying, my goal always put as much good out, service to others, you know, love over everything. So, like, I feel like I'm starting to get into that space where I'm moving into, like, that media teaching. And it's AAU season, so we are in full swing. I got 3 practices this week coming up. And an open gym on a Saturday. And, you know, I'm like, you know, just digging away at this project that I kind of hope to pull together. I'm also writing a book with my mom, so we're working on that, which I think is going to be really, really cool. It's this futuristic tale about a basketball player, but it's set in the future where everybody plays basketball virtually. Except for like except for this like
this day and age.
The group of people who couldn't afford to, you know what I mean? So they play like physical basketball. So it has this like, it's really cool futuristic story that it's like, I would say 85% written. Just needs to be read because I just write and I don't think about it after that. So hopefully, you know, some of this stuff, it's coming to completion. Yeah. Like I just been digging away, and like I going to Jaden's film, and just seeing the, you know, the age of the man who made the film, and him just talking about that process and stuff. I look and I'm like, well, I'm only 37. I keep thinking to myself like, I haven't done, you know what I mean? Like I'm not there yet, and I'm upset because I feel like I haven't done enough. And everybody's like, you do way too much.
That's what I was
So I'm like, all right, like I'm still in a good space. Like I can still, you know, it doesn't really matter the age you put it out at. Just put it out.
Put it out.
So yeah.
That's what's up.
And hoping next year, you know, we see some really good seasons from some of these kids.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward. Like every summer, at the end of the summer, I get so amped up for basketball season because I know the work that they
put in. Yeah. And especially with Jayden, I'll use him as an example. He works and plays extremely hard, and I know that had to come from someplace. And now listening to the 1,000 things that you do, I can see where that hard work is coming from, and it's going to pay off. You know what I'm saying?
We push. I mean,
help us out next year.
Once you get the kids and they know you and they trust you, you can push them.
True.
They just need a lot more trust than we needed to.
The kids got to buy into what you're selling. The same
I feel
with
like
parents.
A long time ago, they used to just be like, they drop the kids off. You act up. I told the coach they could, you know what I mean?
Right.
These kids, they gotta trust you and they gotta love you a little bit.
True.
But I lay in. Like I got one of the girls on my team, and she has potential to be phenomenal. But I'm like, I gotta wake her up every practice. So I go in, you know. But she responds. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing what they do and the future of our program. So.
That's what's up. Well, we wish you nothing but continued success in
thank
all of your endeavors.
I appreciate it.
Everything that you do. I appreciate you for working out my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we talk about this all the time. Sometimes these trainers and AAU programs is just a money grab. They just want your money and roll a basketball out and say go play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
So we appreciate trainers such as yourself that actually train the kids and work on fundamentals and actually works on their game. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? Much continued success, like I said, with all your endeavors. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I pick her brain. Thank you. I pick her brain. You know what I'm saying? We've had conversations about the show and different things like that. And that's why I want to get the other camera so we can start doing some things with some angles. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she said she's just what?
I'm just a pretty face with a nice smile. I just show up. Just show up. I don't know nothing be going on. I don't know nothing about no boards, no buttons, no nothing. I just show up. I half the time don't even review the questions. He sends the questions. I be like, we got it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna continue to pick your brain. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna add something else to your plate. Sorry, but
I'm up for it. You know? I'm working on like time management. You know? I'm gonna come get some pointers for sure, because I'm a mess. But
that's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Right. Shouts out to my baseball squad. You know what I'm saying? Got back to 500, 3-3. Nice little win over Camden Catholic the other day. So you know, it's kind of our rival in all sports. So we like to beat up on, you didn't graduate from there, but you did spend a little bit of
A lot
time
of
there. You did spend a lot of time there. So looking forward. We got 4 games coming up, you know what I'm saying? So we need to get some more wins here so we can solidify our playoff position. If the playoffs were to start today, we would be in, we would be low, but we get a couple more wins before the cutoff date, we'll start rising up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we'll get some consistent baseball weather. Please.
Yeah, that's what you really need.
Baseball gods, please. I'm tired of dressing for baseball practice and games like I'm
football
coaching football.
games.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Got my Pooh Shiesty mask on and Scully on. You ain't supposed to be wearing no Scully coaching baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So please.
That's why I chose basketball. That's the other
exactly.
reason.
That's why that's my favorite to coach, because it's indoors. You know what I'm saying?
The weather don't matter.
Exactly. What you got going on, cuz?
Nothing. Real quick, for those that do follow me on social media, I know you guys were aware that I went to Cape Town, South Africa. If anybody gets the opportunity to go, the cost was just like going to the Caribbean. It's amazing. We are amazing people. And as some may agree or disagree, they say that's where God created the earth at, right there at the base of Africa. Very nice trip. More importantly, we are coming upon spring, which means daylight will be having wellness workouts in the park. That Whitman Park, our kickoff is May 8th with group mental health sessions for young people. Group sessions are on Wednesday, every other Wednesday and every other Thursday. And then on Saturday, starting May 11th, we have our workout sessions, which is the first workout is Winning Fitness with Miss Summer Combs Hurst. Full body workout. We'll be doing boxing fit as well. All of that starts May 8th, and it goes until September this year.
Nice.
We'll be doing 2 movie nights a month for families, and all of these are geared around mental health and understanding how to have positive coping strategies and how to interact with your family in a safe space, and to connect and reconnect so you guys can be on the same page mentally. We'll also be having nutrition classes in conjunction with the workouts as well. Wellness weekend,
Nice.
May 30th. We're kicking it off with family fun night skating at Millennium Skate World. The first 100 people are free, and it's $10 thereafter. Again, it's an opportunity to come out and meet in a safe space to get resources about mental health, mental health services, as well as therapeutic services for families and children. It's just an opportunity for family to come out to get educated, to get knowledge, and to have a good time. Okay. We all know that having a good time and smiling helps tremendous with your mental health and your anxiety and depression. So all of this will be posted. I know it was a lot, and I did it in a short period of time, but you guys know May kicks off everything for daylight as we go through the summer months. So we'll be posting on the page. We'll be posting on the screen. And follow Daylight. Follow Daylight Foundation on Instagram and Facebook, as well as T Harder One. That's me on Instagram, and everything's usually posted. If I know it, if it's going on, I'm going to tell you about it.
Saber, real quick before we get out of here, let them know your social media, how they can get in contact with you if they want to, if you remember.
Got so many.
And don't worry, I'll be posting them as well.
Yeah, my main one is at Hoops for the Soul. Everything's spelled out FORTHESOUL. And then for art, it's at Sabe Creates. SABE Creates.
Gotcha.
So, yeah,
I'll make
they
sure
can
I
find me
post
there.
somewhere. Any shout outs before we get out of here?
I'll shout out my whole soul family. That's
There
what
you
we
go.
call ourselves. Hoops for
I
the
like
Soul,
that.
soul family. All the kids, my wife, my child, like my family, everybody, my whole Del Riv family. Like, there's just so many people that kind of help build us and create.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everybody.
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Well,
Mom.
thank you. Oh yeah, can't leave your mom out. Well, thank you again for coming on. We definitely appreciate it. Cousin Tracy, episode 122 is in the books. Once again, I am Sechuayo, aka Coach Bird. I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show, and we'll talk to you soon.
It was a stone groove, my man.